The passage of time is for sale. Commercial television sells time. Time carefully measured in seconds. Time bought by the makers and purveyors of 6,100 products throughout the nation, seeking your attention 44 times a day. The Chicago chapter of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences brings you this second in a series of shows about Chicago's television industry with a message from the sponsor.
Now, this is where the message from the sponsor would go if we had one. But on this show tonight, no television commercial. I take a note. What we do have is a package or two, and they wish to see how a television commercial is created and produced. Now, we may never get around to making a television commercial tonight because this product does not exist. It doesn't even have a name. Oh, yes, a name. I'm Irv Kupcinet. About as close to a sponsor as you'll get on this show tonight. As president of the Chicago chapter of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, it's my privilege to invite you to sit in at advertising's conference tables and to walk through the stages and studios of Chicago's $200 million business dedicated to the art of making a 60-second show, which you call a commercial. But I repeat, we have nothing to sell. Absolutely nothing. Nothing except an adventure. Now, the Academy has chosen for your guide tonight a very handsome and affable gentleman waiting for you now over there on Michigan Boulevard. I see him there now, singing in the rain.
Hi, I'm Jim Conway. A television commercial begins with a second look and a second thought about you. It's now about 8:30 of a morning in September in the city of Chicago as you hurry to your work. An hour ago, a similar scene took place in New York. 2 hours from now, people will be doing much the same thing in Los Angeles. We work, we spend, we produce, and we consume. What was a luxury yesterday becomes a minimum need today. And so our free time increases, and a better life begins. Now television has become an important part of our lives, and television pays its enormous operational bill with advertising. Chicago is no stranger to advertising. Michigan Avenue, Chicago is as famous, as known to advertising men all over the world as Madison Avenue or Champs-Élysées in Paris. 35,000 people serve the advertising profession. To some of you, these names may be familiar. Some of you may never have heard of them before, but all of them are stock in trade for the advertiser with $1 to spend. Advertising agencies like these make television commercials, which have now become a mirror of our culture and a reflection of our lives. Advertising really works, makes the wheels go round, creates business where there was none. Now let's take this mythical product and see how the wheels go around. Let's call it Easy Wax. Let's throw it into the ring. By ring, I mean conference table. Well, this one will do. It's got the right number of pads and pencils and ashtrays. Air conditioning seems pretty good. Telephone. Excuse me just a moment. Miss Stewart, during this conference, no incoming calls whatsoever. Right. Unless they're from the sponsor. That's right. Now, you've heard of catching flies with honey. I think you and I can catch a couple of advertising men with a product, and the problem is selling that product. Let's see. Well, what do you know? We've got an actor. He's going to play an advertising man for us. What do you do?
I'm the art director.
What do you do?
Well, I should think that would be obvious.
Would you mind spelling it out? We are very interested.
Well, in that case, if it has anything to do with styling or designing, I either do it myself or have other artists do it.
What would that cover?
Well, all printed matter, layout. That's the relationship between the print and the product itself. Now, in television commercials, these things are still very important, and the package even more so. Now, sometimes I design the package or redesign it, if it needs it, consistent with whatever selling idea we come up with. Sometimes I do the storyboards myself.
The what?
The storyboard. Here. Now, this is a rough idea for Easy Wax here. Now, when the commercial goes live or on film, these may be some of the key scenes that we agree on.
Now, what about those words underneath the pictures?
Well, that's the copywriter's job. He puts ideas to words. I style them with images, pictures, and print. I try to give the whole thing a key, or a mood, or an atmosphere. Now, with the wax here, I was striving for a certain very clean look. No, I don't do the words. Jim does that.
Thank you. I assume you're the copywriter.
Senior copywriter.
Well, I'm beginning to see that you and the art director work together as a team.
That's true. Now, sometimes the ideas will start visually, but sometimes they start verbally.
How would you sum up your job?
Well, my job is not only to find the right word, but to find the right idea, the order of images. Now, sometimes the entire idea of the show will start with me, sometimes with the TV producer, or sometimes it may even start with the account executive. We have one, you know.
Thank you. I am the key liaison man between my agency and the sponsor himself. Ideas, sometimes they come from me. Sometimes they come from the manufacturer. Sometimes they come from the research department when it comes up with recommendations. Ideas? That's what this conference was called for, I assume.
That's right, it might be us. We question everything concerning the product. If it's been on the market before, or if it hasn't been on the market before. We try to find out what the public likes or doesn't like about similar products being offered. Sometimes we come up with an idea for the commercial which seems to embody what we find the consumer wants most to know or to have, a sort of a composite of ideas. It's the consumer himself who tells us what he wants and what he doesn't want. And there's no end to research. It goes on all the time. Usually it's the TV producer assigned to the account who starts things rolling.
Well, that's very nice of you. But actually, I'm limited by the amount of money the account executive gives me to work with. Now, when it comes to the actual filming, casting, directing, selecting music, I represent the agency at, well, whatever film studio we do business with. As far as the commercial is concerned, I may get the idea from any of the people you've met, or I may come up with a different variation on everything I've heard so far. Then there's the matter of special markets. Depending on what I know about the one we're going into, I may bend a bit.
I think you do more than bend a little. Markets are pretty important. You see, markets are my business. I have to know how large an audience a given TV station or a network of stations will pull at a certain hour with a certain show to offer. I try to make the manufacturer's dollar buy him the largest audience per minute for his money, and more than that, make sure that as far as we can ascertain, that audience contains the maximum number of purchasers. I guess I'm the one person who does not get an idea for the commercial itself.
But an idea will emerge. Easy Wax will get the full treatment. Advertising men study the product, and you. They make an image to remember, and they give the product a single selling, storytelling idea. Now, let's meet a real advertising man, Jack Baxter. Last year won the Copywriter of the Year award.
Oh, hi, Jim. How are
Hi,
you?
Jack.
Nice to see you.
Well, I can see that you're busy as usual.
Always busy. How about some coffee?
No thanks. Maybe a little bit later. I'd like to ask you a question. What exactly does a copywriter do in commercial television?
Well, he plans these commercials that people don't watch when they go out in the kitchen to make a sandwich.
Oh, it's not as bad as all that, is it?
Well, yes, it is. According to research, people don't watch about a third of the commercials that are on the air.
Why do you suppose that is?
Well, I guess it's because they're more interested in their own problems than in yours. And you have to do something pretty special to make them interested. Let me show you how hard it is to get attention. Recently, I went down to LaSalle Street with these pictures. I wanted to see how hard it was to get people to recognize a person or a product. Now, here's a man that has been publicized far and wide. Yet, 10 people out of 1,000 didn't recognize Dwight Eisenhower, believe it or not, by that picture. Now, here's one that's been in the newspapers every day for years. Yet, 220 people out of 1,000 didn't know Dick Tracy. This fellow was on TV every night, and he's on every week. Yet, 370 people out of 1,000 did not know Steve Allen. An hour from now, something very strange is going to happen to our audience out there. They're going to forget exactly 56% of what we say. And if they're average, a month from now, they will have remembered only 7% of everything they've seen or heard or read today.
Well, with all those ads, doesn't it strike you that possibly advertising might be wasteful?
Well, actually, I'd say it was helpful.
Sure you're not biased?
No, I'll tell you why. It helps you to become familiar with products, and it makes you a little bit more intelligent about buying.
Aren't you ever irritated, though, Jack, by some commercials, some ads?
Of course I'm irritated, but I'm also irritated by some movies, some plays, some books, some speeches. Where in this world will you ever find a society where everything is good, everything is interesting?
Touche. Very good. Well, now that we're talking commercials, Jack, do you always think that they're honest?
Well, I think there are dishonest advertisers to the same extent that there are dishonest politicians or bankers or brokers. To be dishonest in advertising is very foolish, I think, because the purpose of advertising is to get goodwill. And if people buy your product because of a fraudulent claim, they're never going to come back again.
Well, Jack, you work alone. What about the group approach?
You know, actually a job study of about 1,000 Chicago copywriters showed that 3/4 of them actually work alone.
Well, I guess that's as good an exit line as any. Jack Baxter, thank you for letting us interrupt your work. I think we've shown you that creative people do try to make commercials that are interesting for you. But sponsors sometimes won't allow creative people or agency people or anybody to deviate from a formula that sells merchandise. Let's take a look at some of these formulas. This is the newest Hollywood starlet with a few words of wisdom.
Hello. My name is Dawn O'Day, currently appearing in Mayhem on Michigan Avenue. I'd like to tell you about Mother's all-purpose, no-rub cleanser. I use it all the time in my house here in Hollywood. Mother's makes my work easy. Makes sinks, bathtubs, and swimming pools gleam. Don't forget, Mayhem on Michigan Avenue.
Well, Mother's is a good cleaner anyway, and a commercial like this does give you another chance to take a good look at Dawn O'Day. Now, suppose you have a cough. This is the problem approach.
Hacking, dry, irritable cough, parched, sore throat, and the achy bones that accompany a cold, getting you down. Then get the relief that Marvel X cough drops can bring.
Well, those are some of the standard approaches. Now let's meet a man who doesn't believe much in cliches. Russ Young over at the Darcy Agency. Hi, Russ. Good to see you again. You know, in all the years we've known each other, I've never seen you wear a gray flannel suit.
Well, Jim, I don't own one.
Well, there's another good cliche destroyed.
Sure.
Russ, let's face it. Now, television commercials have been subject to great criticism lately. What do you think about that?
Well, as a viewer, I have to admit that some of the things I see are regrettable. As a producer, I understand how much hard work went into making them, regrettable though they may seem to us. However, we at Darcy, and I think in most of the top agencies, have a philosophy which will tend to eliminate this over a period of time. We believe, for example, that we are dealing with adult, intelligent, mature human beings. And we don't talk down to them. We don't want to bully them. We want to be honest with them and approach them in an attitude of good taste and intelligence.
There's a great deal of show business in advertising, isn't there, Russ?
Oh, sure.
Where would you say they meet?
Head on every day.
Yes, I know that, but specifically.
Well, as you know, when we buy shows, programs to put on the air for our clients, for people to see, and, of course, when we make television commercials. When we take all the creative work that's been contributed by all the talent in the agency, and we have it all bundled together in a storyboard and a script, and we go out the door to the producer to translate this into pictures and sound.
Well, I'm on my way right now over to one of the sound stages at Fred Niles.
Sure. Wish I were going with you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate visiting with you.
Thanks for coming in, Jim.
Right, Russ. So let's say that somewhere along the line, a writer has set the idea in words, and that an artist has taken that verbal idea and expressed it in visual images. And let's say that after many changes of idea and image, both the agency team and the client they represent have agreed on the plan, the preparation. Perhaps by now a composer has added the dynamic music, and the commercial is ready for filming at one of Chicago's many studios. Chicago's picture makers top the list of those who know how. Fred, you gotta be careful around here.
Well, there's a lot of activity.
It's big.
Well, you gotta have a lot of space, Jim, to shoot in. You need big stages.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, we're shooting here in 3 on tabletop photography.
Well, what's tabletop photography?
Well, it's shooting food close-ups and things that fill the whole screen.
Oh, yeah. Apparently you're having an audition, huh?
Jim, you'll be amazed how many people are working on a 1-minute commercial when we get inside. They should stop shooting in a moment. We can go on in. Well, let's have a cigarette, because this could go on for some time. Up, there it is. Oh, pardon me.
A lot of pretty people, too.
Yeah. Well, now, this is stage 1, Jim.
Boy, there's sure a lot of people.
Well, it takes a lot of people to make a picture. I think I can name them for you. There's the director and his assistant, and the agency producer double-checking the original storyboard. There's makeup and the dancer. There's a studio mechanic laying down smoke for a cloud effect. And there's the camera crew dollying in. There at the camera is your first cameraman. To his left, following focus, is his assistant. What you don't see is the choreographer who plotted this dance movement, or the composer who wrote the number, or the sound engineers who recorded it. Well, actually, this is only a part of them, Jim. After the film leaves here, there are a lot more involved in it.
More?
Oh, yes. The film, actually, from this stage, goes into processing and sound dubbing and mixing and cutting and editing and interlocks and all these stages. But let me show you.
Okay.
Right.
Boy, that teamwork is amazing, Fred.
Well, it takes a lot of work.
Fantastic.
Get it organized.
Mr. Niles, your people from Cleveland just came in about an hour early.
Oh. Well, would you mind showing Jim around the studios, and I'll catch up with you a little later?
Sure, I'll be glad
Appreciate
to.
it. Thanks.
Thanks, Fred.
My name is Bart.
Hi. Russ Young was right. Show business and advertising do meet head-on in a film studio. Young bested we look at a tabletop shot. And in short order, I found myself looking down at 4 pancakes, the exact right size for the plate, right color of brown for the camera, with the butter centering the design and the syrup being laid out in the way Picasso might have done it. In order to get that early in the morning, aren't they good to eat look, the butter must melt without making the cakes look soggy. So they reached for a home type to settle in torch, and that took care of that. Something was wrong. It didn't look hot enough. You're right. That's an ordinary cigarette, an ordinary straw, and that's cigarette smoke. But to the camera, it will look like heat. I learned it takes great care to make these 2-second shots. But I also found out it takes infinite patience to direct a young lady of 6 who thinks the lights are too bright.
Do we have something in your eye?
No,
The sun hurts me.
Well, I'll tell you, after we get through in a little while, we'll turn off all the lights and it's just like the sun going out, okay? Okay, now you hold the bread again, and then after we get ready, then you'll set the bread down right over here, and then you'll look at the pretty flowers, okay? All right, now, we're just about set. All ready? All right, now you stay right there and watch and I'll listen to what I tell you. Oh, all set, here we go. All right, Laird. Now, quiet, gentlemen. Roll it.
23, 21, 127.
Okay, Laird. Now, all set. Good smile, honey. Now look at the bread. Now set the bread down. No, don't look at me. Cut. Laird, put the bread down and come over here, dear. Come around this way. Okay. Oh, we're doing good. But we got to do it better, huh? Can we do it better? Now, I tell you, when you set the bread down, I want you to look at the bread with a big smile because you like to eat it. You really like to eat that bread. And then I want you to look at the flowers and everything else. All right, now you go back and do it again for me.
I'm really not going to put up I'm not really going to take the bread.
Oh, sure, you're going to hold it for me. You go back there, and I'll show you how to do it this time. That's it, girl. Okay, all right. Okay, honey, that's it. Now set the bread down. Oh, no. Cut.
Craft, talent, precision, and patience are all very important here. But I was to find out just how important good taste and discrimination and common sense are in this business. They were finishing an audition on the next stage. In this case, the team consisted of a client, an advertising man, and a director.
Tell us, have you done any other cosmetic commercials recently?
No, it's been mostly high fashion work for the last 6 months.
I see. Is that the way you usually wear your hair?
No, I can change it 6 or 7 different ways. Would you like to see?
Yes, please.
Wilhelmina, do you have any formal apparel that would be suitable for this particular job?
I think you will like what I have.
Oh, Lloyd, here's an interesting one.
I like that.
This is very elegant, Wilhelmina, but tell us, do you have anything simpler than this as well? We may want a more severe shot.
Yes, I have several.
Would you do me a favor, Wilhelmina? Would you go back there and stand in the light once again, please?
I'd love to.
Would you show us your left profile? That's the first girl I've seen that turned the right way. Uh-huh. All right. Would you come back and sit down for us now, please? Wilhelmina, we'll have some sort of a decision by 5:30, and we'll call your agent, and they'll in turn will call you and let you know.
Yes, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you, Wilhelmina.
Bye.
Jerry, would you go get the co-eds, please?
Right, will do.
Well, fellas, what do you think?
Well, I've never used her before, but I rather like her.
I think she'd be great for this job.
Well, she's certainly attractive and different, and it would be nice to be going with a new face for a change. But, Lloyd, it'll be your responsibility if you feel you can handle this girl.
Well, I don't think we'll have any trouble with her.
All right?
Okay, fine. Look, remember that reaction we rehearsed a little bit earlier? We'd like to try it once again, okay? All right, fine. You ready? All right, okay, here we go. You're looking the other way. Good. Ready? Action.
Hi.
Oh, that was good. Let's do it once more and lower your voices just a little bit. And let's put a little bit more, a little more Marilyn Monroe and a little more oomph into it. You know what I mean. Okay? All right, ready? Action.
Hi.
Oh, that was fine. All right, we'll be shooting this Wednesday. And Jerry will get in touch with all of you, okay? Right. Thank you.
When you visit a film studio in this town, you begin to realize that Chicagoans bring a particular kind of assurance and level-headedness to this business of making pictures for commercials. I remember that some commercials don't use live talent, or even many film shots of the actual product. They use artwork. So after young Barth and I took a little time out over coffee, he decided to open my eyes to another world. Another department in this studio, the art department. Here's an artist who's making a series of designs to the beat of the music. This is a world where cigarettes and cats are made to dance in perfect rhythm. And small tugboats drawn on celluloid talk back to large-sized ocean liners, Disney fashion. Here, the little tugboat is photographed 24 times a second. But later, when you see the film projected, the little boat cuts quite a caper. No matter what the scene, it's grist for these wheels. The editor has the job of giving the whole show a certain flow and impact, continuity. This machine is called a moviola. It can stop exactly where the editor wants it to. If he doesn't like a scene, he marks it for cutting. Now he looks at another strip of film, the close-ups. He lays the scene over the previous strip of film and carefully marks both it and the soundtrack. Now he's ready to make his cut. He puts the film in the splicer, scrapes the emulsion, puts some cement on it. We're ready to go again. Here's the old scene, greatly enhanced with the use of 2 new close-ups. And what might have been a dull scene gains added interest. We had a few seconds to spare before going into the screening room, so we caught an engineer and a director making a track for a picture. Not too far away, we had a look at 3 soundtracks, voice, traffic noise, and music being mixed together as one track. Married, as they say in the business. A very precise operation, this business of making commercials. But precise as it is, in the screening room, you feel the tension and excitement of a preview.
I think we're about ready to roll. Are you ready, fellas?
Yes, we are. Roll it, please.
Sorry. This is where the commercial would go if we were going to show you one. But we promised we wouldn't, so we won't. Signed, Irv Kupcinet.
Sorry you can't see the commercial we're looking at. What you can see is the interest and the concern of those who made it.
Well, how'd you like it?
Well, I think it was well written, well conceived, and executed technically. I think it's interesting. How about you, Fred? What do you think?
Well, the important thing at this point is whether it'll sell the merchandise, whether it'll move it in the marketplace. That's what it's got to do.
Cup, what do you think?
Well, Jim, the figures speak for themselves, and they sure speak eloquently. They show that television commercials do sell product. The making of television commercials is a vital and dynamic part of the Chicago scene. Now, take last year in television. More than $1.5 billion were spent on this medium. That's for the shows, the commercials, and the time. And a very large portion of that sum was spent right here in Chicago. Now, almost all the shows that you like, the dramas, the comedy shows, the quiz shows, the variety shows, and yes, even those conversation-type shows, are made and produced and packaged and conceived with the purpose in mind of informing you, of pleasing you, and bringing you that message from the sponsor. Thank you for watching.